Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How y'all doing today?
Good.
Told you it was my last day.
Well,
I'm going to relax. No, I can't do that. Neil, would you get that for me? Sure would be nice, though. My knees aren't taking
Anna
it
will be
too
here
well.
in a second.
What I want to do is bring you up a little bit of history, a little bit of time, so you understand where we are at this point in time on this day. What's happening out there is they're taking some planks, they're putting them down on a bridge. What? Why are they putting planks on top of the bridge? Well, to keep the Americans from going over to the British side, they pulled up some of the planks. Now they want to come back. So they got to put them back down again so they can get across this. So that's why they're putting planks back down, and you'll hear that talked about and see it in writing a lot of times. But what led up to this? What starts all this business out here? What you'll notice is you got some guys out here on the causeway. See that big pine tree over there? You all see that big one way over there? Right above the bridge, right above those British guys? That's about where the fort was. Right out here, the bridge. Not that big thing that goes up and down, that little one like that one. Was right out here. It was real narrow. They could only take 6 men abreast. British are used to walking in real wide flanking lines. Couldn't do it. 6 men abreast. You get out here and see this area where these stuff is. That's an island, and that island was right out there. See, you're on part of the battlefield. You're on hallowed ground. Feel honored because it doesn't always happen to us when we reenact. You're on part of the actual ground. If you see this line of trees here, that line of trees is about where that bale of straw is in those trees. Okay? Just trying to tell you, you can see what's going on in the battlefield. If you look down there, down here, you see all the way down here this wide road, pending road and stuff. That's because as Victory Boulevard used to be, going down like this, it bent back this way, down about where Crew Road is, they built a fortification to prevent. Oh, that's all right, I'm going to take it out. It's falling off. It's causing me problems. This young man you see right here loading his weapon is the hero of the Battle of Great Bridge. His name is Billy Flores. He was a free African living in the area. He had joined the militia and he was trying to protect. He was on guard duty to keep everybody doing back across the way. He's still firing. Now he's finally running back. The other two that were with him, they fired 2 shots and they ran. He stayed there, slowing down the British, firing 8 continuous shots till he went back and gave Lieutenant Travis back there with his 60 men the opportunity to get ready for the British attempt. 60 men against about 300. With another couple hundred Royal Ethiopians waiting on that side of the bridge. The plan was is the British forces, mainly with the Grenadiers, those big tough mean guys I was talking about, those guys are going to push through, and the plan is that they're going to break through this barricade here, and then all these other troops are going to run through. That's the plan. Now the Americans think that's a very good plan. So we're going to see what happens. So you see these big Grenadiers now, the 14th Regiment of Foot, are coming out and getting ready to go. The artillery is firing, and you wonder, wait a minute, is the British going to walk in front of that and they're going to get shot with the artillery? No, if the causeway bends this way, and they're shooting the artillery right across that marsh. That's a big swamp out there. They're shooting straight across that at the barricade down here. So the British can look at it like this is vertical, but it should be horizontal. The causeway goes like this. Now the artillery can shoot like this, and the British are still safe. If the causeway was straight, they'd go like this. They'd fire the artillery and kill all the British. So they can still fire. That's the point I'm making. Now, what they're shooting out there is round ball. And that round ball, because it's the distance, it wouldn't be very effective on this rifle if they use straight shot. They're shooting that round ball, and the round ball is going behind these people and it's hitting the town. So I don't like that because I'm Colonel William Woodford and my Lieutenant Travis is up here with his 60 men, but I'm back there in town and I'm just getting up in the morning. And they're lobbing those artillery shells at us. That's the way to wake you up in the morning. But, you know, we don't pay a whole lot of attention to it because every morning since we've been here, there's been pot shots back and forth by each other. So you don't even think much about it that early in the morning. You got the lieutenant and his 60 men up here, they're going to take care of it. But then it gets worse, louder, more. And a runner, the lieutenant, when the runners come from here back here to tell the lieutenant, he sends the runner back to my camp and alerts us, and the adjutant calls all the troops to arms. We get ready to march up to reinforce these guys. But you got to remember, this is a real short battle. This battle only lasts less than 30 minutes. In actuality. So by the time we get back here, we get everything set up, get everybody alerted, we start marching this way. Now these artillery shells are landing in front of us. It slows us down. But that's still not the whole plan. The plan that the British had originally, you need to watch this. That's Captain Fordyce. Captain Fordyce gets shot by the Culpepper militia that's over on that side. He gets shot in the leg at this point. So he's trying to force him through. He's hollering at him, come on, boys, and there's what happens. We have a ball of fire from here, the 60 guys up there. You see these guys all go down, and Captain Fordyce went down. Now, I told you earlier that the Culpepper militia hit him first in the knee, right? And they were firing from over there. So they got him in a crossfire, this way and this way. Well, the captain over there tells his riflemen, which are very good shots, everything else, concentrate on Fordyce. And they fired. They fired a volley, right? They all fired a volley. 13 of them at least were concentrating on Fordyce. Because when they recover his body, he's got 14 bullet holes in him. But I'll talk a little bit more about him in a minute. Now you see these guys are all falling back. You see a lot of people getting shot, a lot of people dying. 1/3 of the regiment gets like that in that first shot. They're still trying to pull up the Americans, but they're not moving. They're staying there, they're just shooting from there. Everybody's pulling back. Wounded down here. We've got to see how this goes, but
No one has died over here. No one. And like 1, 2, 3.
you know, I told you 1/3 of that whole unit got killed. We don't know exactly how many people were wounded at the Battle of Great Bridge on the British side. As Lord Dunmore in his report only counts his regular army troops. He doesn't count any of the militia, he doesn't count any of the Royal Ethiopians, he doesn't count any of the volunteers that came out of Norfolk. What we do know is on the next morning when we go into the fort. As you cross the bridge, it's covered in blood. When they get inside the fort, its whole fort has got blood all over it. When they get reports from the neighbors, there was wagons and carts and everything that they could get to haul wounded bodies back to Norfolk. And they got about halfway there, and a young lady came running out because the soldiers were screaming for water. She's bringing in a bucket of water to take care of the wounded British soldiers going that way. We also know that they dug a great big pit and they put all the dead bodies in the pit. We don't know exactly how many. The last count we know of 41. Then you have all out here. There was, I think it was 43 that were taken back by the Americans. The Americans come out. You'll see this in just a minute. They come out and they check out the wounded. Fordyce, of course, there's nothing to do for him. But he died as a military hero, leading his soldiers and everything else. So the town of Great Bridge and the citizens and the military give him full military honored burial right up here at the church. So they took care of him. And all of the wounded that's out here on the field were taken back up to Miss Polly Tillet's house, where they had a hospital set up, and she tended to the British wounded along with the military surgeons and stuff. So the American side really took care of them. In contrast to what Lord Dunmore had told his soldiers at the beginning before they came out here. He tried to get them stirred up, like you do. You have this rally talk about, let's go get them, boys. And he told them that those shirtmen were like savages out in the wilderness, and if you got wounded, they were going to scalp you and kill you. So they know that as some Americans came out on the field to check the wounded, they could hear British soldiers screaming, "Don't scalp us. Please don't scalp us." Because there never was an intent to do that anyway. They're going to take care of them. They're soldiers. Honor the soldiers, and going to take care of them, treat them medically, everything else. So, what I see is happening over there, I think Lieutenant Travis is gathering a group of people to come out and check the wounded. He hasn't done it yet because he's not sure that they're done shooting at it because they're still on the island. Remember, there's only about 300 yards, and actually to where they're down, it's less than that. So, you know, they could still lob some bullets. So he's getting ready to come out and take care of the wounded and take a look at it. The last British are going back across the bridge. And so here, look, oh, here he comes. Here comes Lieutenant Travis out with a party under the flag of truce to check the wounded. So all firing is stopped. Everybody is ceased firing because we're under a flag of truce. And we honor a flag of truce. And in reciprocation, because Travis is coming out to check the wounded and they're starting to take care of the wounded that's down, here comes Captain Leslie under a flag of truce, and he's coming out to honor the Americans for not scalping and killing the rest of the wounded soldiers. He gives honors to Travis. And Travis returns. Now, Lieutenant Colonel Scott encourages me to take all hesitation to the wind. Let's all run up there and get all those guys in the fort. They're all in bad shape, they're wounded, they're hurt. Let's go get them all. I said, no, Scott, can't do that. Well, why can't we do that? I got intelligence that there's 350 Royal British Highlanders supposed to be reinforcing this fort. I said, that could be a trap. And we don't want to take a chance with that. But there's a whole backside to this story. That's basically how it goes. This is basically how it ends. You know, but there's a whole backside to this story. Why did they go on the 9th? Captain Leslie leaves Norfolk with 300 soldiers. He marches all night long, gets here at the fort about 3:30, and it kicks off at daylight. They're tired, they get 2 hours worth of rest, but he had been ordered by Dunmore to do that. And there's more to that story too. But why did Dunmore tell him to come on this day? All the wounded are being, yeah, the one that hang you're alive.
None of them were really good.
But Dunmore had a captured slave. This guy comes across over to his side to turn himself in to get his freedom in Royal Ethiopian, right? And he tells Dunmore this story. He tells Dunmore that, hey, the Americans are over there, they've only got about 300 people. They're starving. They're running out of ammunition, and they're looking for reinforcements. They're coming from Williamsburg, and the 3 companies of the 1st Virginia are going to arrive on the 10th. Battle's on the 9th. Going to arrive on the 10th. Oh, by the way, North Carolina is sending up 8 cannon underneath the colonel of the regiment from North Carolina. Well, remember what I told you about the fort? It would only withstand musket fire. It doesn't withstand artillery. So now they're worried about these 8 cannons. They did send 8 cannons. They arrived 2 weeks after the battle. 2 companies arrived the day after the battle. The 1st Virginians arrived on the day late in the evening of the day of the battle. But it wasn't an ammunition shortage. There wasn't 300 here. There's almost 1,000. Okay, of course, me and all my guys are in the back, and there's only 60 up here on this line that actually did all this. I think you ought to be very proud of the people of Great Bridge. But what did that mean? Why is Great Bridge considered by most historians the Bunker Hill of the South? I can remember 26 years ago I started talking about the Battle of Great Bridge, and everybody said, what? But the problem is, Great Bridge and its causeway and the city, and on that island were 7 warehouses, because this was the only land avenue into the port of Norfolk from northeast Virginia.